have association of His Grace Damodar Prabhu, and in fact he came for our Bhakti Vaibhav as a teacher and instructor, and we requested him, since you are here on Sunday, can you please take this session, and Prabhu kindly agreed. So we are very grateful. And just a quick introduction about Prabhu. Prabhu did his graduation in mechanical engineering from IIT Mumbai, and in 1998 itself, while pursuing his graduate, IIT Mumbai is very premium and top-notch institutes in India, and he was doing graduation there, and he came in contact with devotees in 1998. So almost 26 years of solid and very dedicated and sincere service that Prabhu has been doing that. In 2003, again he completed his masters from IIT Mumbai in design and automation. So since 1998 he was in contact with the devotees. He got his first initiation in 2001 itself from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and then he worked for 2 years in the corporate world, and then seeking the absolute truth and in order to spread the timeless wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Prabhu dedicated his life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada and teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And many services he had done. Probably you might not be knowing, but I'm very happy to inform that he headed the kitchen department at ISKCON Chowpatty for 15 years. Under his able guidance, the kitchen there and also at GEV, Govardhan Eco Village, they received this certification of ISO 2001 to 22000, and his kitchen team has been successfully organizing mega yatra kitchen on wheels with the latest technology and feeding the sumptuous meals to over 10,000 devotees in annual Kartik Yatras and over 20,000 meals to the pilgrims every day in Kumbh Mela. So you can understand when we see that in His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj Yatra, the devotees, around 10,000 devotees are being fed prasadam, and the person, the devotee, the wonderful devotee behind is a Damodar Prabhu, so wonderful. I mean, if you try to feed 500 people, you know how much difficulty, and then 10,000 devotees, wonderful. And their kitchen received a full episode coverage in Nat Geo entitled ISKCON Yatra Mega Kitchens, which is available on YouTube. He has setting up such kind of art kitchens at many ISKCON temples in India as well as abroad. Prabhu takes his services, especially on preaching aspect, very wonderful. He takes journey of the self-discovery courses for the new entrant, and for the last 12 years in Mumbai University, and recognized Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapit for teaching Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and award-winning at GEV. He also teaches several scriptures like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, teachers training courses at Mayapur Institute located at Mayapur. He is currently leading the devotee care education worldwide, aimed at developing caring communities of devotees centered around love for Guru and Krishna. And he is very sweet, and sweet for in lines talk on the scriptures. And yesterday we had a short, the fortune of having a short time of his association, but within that I could realize he is such a sweet person, very wonderful, and dedicated his life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master. So let's welcome, it's our fortune that Prabhu has kindly agreed to give his time. So let's welcome Prabhu by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yesterday we were discussing that just a mere association of devotees for a few moments, a life can transform, and definitely I'm sure that you will have some kind of realization in that direction today after his class.
Hare Krishna. So in my introduction, when there is a discussion of kitchen and prasadam, that brings happiness to devotees. Hare Krishna. So we will, Prabhu forwarded me some topics we will show Prabhu, and I saw various topics, and then I found that we can discuss to cover all the topics he forwarded. I was supposed to choose one topic, but then I thought I will speak on all the topics through one verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he sent me 5 topics yesterday, and I have chosen a verse which has 5 topics of discussion from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we'll recite this verse, this and the next verse, both. So how we'll do, you scroll up and down, or you want to copy paste the 2 verses somewhere. Just check if you can put the 2 verses together, and if you copy paste in some editor, check it out. One 29. Next verse. Okay. There also. Okay, fine. Font increase, or is it readable at the back?
Yes.
You can read. The font is not increasable, no? So from here, the size of the screen. Okay, good. Now it's better. Yes, readable. Patalila 22.128, 129. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana.
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana.
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana.
Sakala Sadhana Shrishta Ei Panchanga.
Sakala Sadhana Shrishta Ei Panchanga.
Krishna Prema Janmaya Ei Pachira Alpa Sangha.
Krishna Prema Janmaya Ei Pachira Alpa Sangha.
How many the meaning is clear? Don't go anywhere, just keep the verse. Don't scroll. To how many of you the meaning is clear? Raise hand. Who can understand the meaning without translation? You will be sure who can. Your name too? Ati Chandra Gaur Prabhu can understand. You will also understand?
Just literal meaning.
The literal meaning of the understandable.
Yes.
See, many devotees can understand because CC is very simple. So it's very easy to understand the meaning. So here, Sadhu Sangha, association with saintly people. Nam Kirtan, chanting the holy names. Bhagavad Shravan, you all have come for that. So Bhagavad class, Bhagavad Shravan. Mathura Vas is Dham Vas in your name. Dham Vas. And Shri Murti Shraddhaya Sevan, serving the deities with faith. That the deity form is not different than Krishna. Sakala Sadhan Shresht Ei Panch Ang. Of all the sadhana bhakti, these 5 are Shresht. These 5 are topmost. Krishna Prema Janmaya Ei Panchera Alpasang. When one comes in touch with them, even little contact, and when one does a little effort in any of the 5 direction, not even all the 5. When one takes little association of the devotees, little means just one, even for 1 or 2 hours a week. It's not much. 1 or 2 hours a week. It's less than 1% of the time. So even if one invests 1 or 2% of one's time in association of devotees, one's love of Krishna will gradually begin to develop. Krishna Prema Janmaya Ei Pachira Alpasam. It's a very beautiful verse. Describe these 5 main limbs of bhakti, or we call it as 5 propellants. The topic I give is 5 propellants. Propellants, the rocket has propellants. So our bhakti will be propelled. Our bhakti will go at rocket speed, progress at rocket speed. How? By these 5 anga of bhakti. And 5 anga of bhakti will enhance our spiritual life, our devotional service, and we can achieve the goal of our life, the love for the Supreme Lord. Like that. Okay, so now that the meaning is clear to everyone, we will recite the verse once again. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
Mathura Vas Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha.
Yes, now do you want to recite? Please recite.
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वासा श्री मूर्तिरा सदय सेवना
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधना श्रेष्ठ ऐ पंचांग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन माया ऐ पंचेर अल्प संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वास श्री मूर्ति सदय सेवना
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधन श्रेष्ठ यही पंच अंग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन्माय पंचेर अल्प संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वास श्री मूर्तिरा श्रद्धया सेवना
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधन श्रेष्ठ एक पंचअंग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन्मय एक पंचेर अल्प संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भगवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वास श्री मूर्तिरा श्रद्धया सेवना
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधन श्रेष्ठ एक पंचअंग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन्माय एक पंचेर अल्प संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
और किसी भक्त की इच्छा हो?
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भगवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वास श्री मूर्तिरा श्रद्धया सेवना
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधन श्रेष्ठ एक पंचअंग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन्माय एक पंचेर अल्प संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
साधु संग नाम कीर्तन भागवत श्रवण
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravana
मथुरा वास श्री मूर्तिरा श्रद्धया सेवन
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana
सकल साधना श्रेष्ठ एक पंचांग
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Ei Panchanga
कृष्ण प्रेम जन्माय पंचेरो संग
Krishna Prema Janmaya Pachira Alpa Sangha
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
We'll read translation. Yes, microphone. Okay, I will only read. You have another microphone? Yes. Okay. Someone, would you like to read translation?
One should
Give
associate.
microphone to Prabhu. Prabhu's voice has inbuilt microphone. We can read.
One should associate with devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration.
Okay, now go to next translation.
These 5 limbs of devotional service are the best of all. Even a slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna.
Yes. So please read the purport. Yes.
Purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur points out that there are 35 items up to the point of observing special vows in the month of Kartika. To these 35 items, another 4 are added, namely marking tilaka on different parts of the body, writing the names of the Lord all over the body, accepting deity's garland and accepting Charnamrita. These 4 items are understood to be included by Kaviraj Goswami within Archana, worship of the deity. Although these items are not mentioned here, they are to be added to the previous 35 items. Thus the total number becomes 39. To these 39 should be added 5 others. Association with devotees, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, residing in Mathura, the birthplace of Krishna, and worshipping the deity with great respect and veneration. The 39 items plus these 5 come to a total of 44. If we add the previous 20 items to these 44, the total number becomes 64. The 5 items mentioned above repeat previously mentioned items. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shri Rupa Goswami states, Anganam Pancha Kasyasya Purva Vilikhitasya Cha Nikhila Shaitya Bodhaya Punar Api Atra Samshanam. The glorification of these 5 items, association with devotees, chanting the holy name and so on, is to make known the complete superiority of these 5 practices of devotional service. The 64 items of devotional service includes all the activities of the body, mind and senses. Thus, the 64 items engage one in devotional service in all respects. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोमीशं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपसाक्षातं सकलराधामनिकतं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
जय
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
तो कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी कहते हैं चित्रलिंगामृत में, जय श्रोतागण सुन करिए कमन। कहते हैं कि जो भी श्रोता है चित्रलिंगामृत के, उनकी जय जयकार देते हैं, जय श्रोतागण। कहते हैं आप बहुत भाग्यशाली हैं कि आपकी श्रवण करने की इच्छा है महाप्रभु की कथा, तो इसलिए श्रोता को जय जयकार करते हैं और कहते हैं जय श्रोतागण सुन करी एक मन। आप बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि आप हमारी कथा सुनने की रुचि रखते हैं। अभी आप एक मन से कथा सुनिएगा। तो अगर एक मन से कथा सुनना है पहले मोबाइल फोन को साइलेंट में डालना होगा। तो आपसे निवेदन करता हूँ आपका मोबाइल फोन निकाल के उसको मन पे कुछ बोझ ना रखते हुए उसको खुशी खुशी उसको साइलेंट मोड में डाल दीजिए थोड़ा समय के लिए। और देखिए आपको बहुत आनंद होगा वास्तव में, क्योंकि महाप्रभु की कथा बहुत मधुर है, बहुत आनंद प्रदान करने वाली है। और यदि हम मन को थोड़ा अविष्ट करेंगे तो देखिए हमारा भाग्य और हमारा आनंद दोनों बहुत बढ़ जाएगा। तो सर्वप्रथम मैं श्री क्षेत्र प्रभु का धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। उनसे भी पहले मैं मेरा अत्यंत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ परम पूज्य जयप्रदा गोस्वामी महाराज के प्रति। उनमें महाप्रभु की प्रचार शक्ति समाविष्ट है। पूरे इस्कॉन में जितने भी दीक्षित भक्त हैं 50% परम पूज्य जयप्रदा गोस्वामी महाराज के हैं। और मैं गल्फ में कई कंट्रीज में गया हूँ और एक चौराहा है, मैं अभी कंट्री का नाम नहीं ले रहा, थोड़ा सेंसिटिविटी है। एक चौराहा पे ऐसा चारों कोने में ऐसा मस्जिद है, चारों कोने में इतनी मतलब हर 100 मीटर 150 मीटर के बाद कई कंट्रीज में मस्जिद है। एक लेन से निकलो दूसरे लेन में टर्न मारो उधर भी मस्जिद, ऐसा इतने मस्जिद है कई कई यूएई कंट्रीज में, गल्फ कंट्रीज में। तो दो मस्जिद के बीच में भक्तों के सेंटर भी है कहीं कहीं पे बिल्कुल लेफ्ट साइड मस्जिद राइट साइड मस्जिद। उन्होंने मुझे इनवाइट किया और वहाँ पे मैंने चैतन्य क्लास दिया इधर नमाज पर चल रहा है, उधर नमाज चल रहा है, बीच में हमारा चैतन्य क्लास चल रहा है। तो मैं सोच रहा था कैसे संभव हो पाया कि परम पूज्य जयप्रदा गोस्वामी महाराज ने वहाँ पे बहुत प्रचार किया है। कई कई जगह जो है रेगुलर भक्ति वृक्ष प्रोग्राम, भागवत भगवद गीता चैतन्य का श्रवण कीर्तन होता है। ऐसे कई कंट्रीज में मैं देखा हूँ जहाँ पे महाराज की इंस्पिरेशन से भक्ति महाप्रभु की शिक्षाओं का, भक्ति का बहुत प्रचार प्रसार कर रहा है। तो यहाँ पे भी मैं देख रहा हूँ बेंगलोर में भी महाराज की प्रेरणा से बहुत अच्छा प्रचार हो रहा है। और हरिक्षेत्र प्रभु जो कि लीड कर रहे हैं इस्कॉन व्हाइटफील्ड को, तो विशेष रूप से मैं उनको धन्यवाद देता हूँ क्योंकि उन्होंने न केवल पुस्तक वितरण में प्रोत्साहन दिया है और पुस्तक पढ़ने में भी भक्तों को प्रोत्साहन दे रहे हैं। क्योंकि भक्ति शास्त्री तो कई जगह लोग कर लेते हैं पर भक्ति वैभव बैचेज बहुत रेयर है, बहुत कम है कंसिस्टेंट बेसिस पे भक्ति वैभव स्टडी। तो उन्होंने, मैं प्राय जैसे युगल मिश्र को बताया, मैं भक्ति वैभव का कल्चर कोर्स जो रेगुलर वंस अ मंथ एक हफ्ता होता है महीने में, जो भक्ति वैभव कोर्स चल रहा है, मैं उसके क्लासेस कंडक्ट करने आया हूँ। परंतु मैं 1-2 दिन पहले आ गया तो कुछ भक्तों से मुझे मिलना था, तो इसलिए आज का ये सेशन भी उसमें ऐड हो गया। तो आप सब लोगों को प्रभुपाद की पुस्तक न केवल वितरण में, उनका पठन में, अध्ययन में भी बहुत रुचि है। ये इस्कॉन लीडरशिप संघ, इस्कॉन हमारे इंटरनेशनल जो हेडक्वार्टर है। आई एम सपोज्ड टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश और हिंदी? English, na? Oh, by default. Usually, in travel, most people request Hindi, so I started speaking in Hindi. I apologize. But till now, everyone understood? Yes. Need to repeat? No. Okay. I'll now speak in English. I forgot. So, in the last held ILS, in the last 2 ILS, ISKCON Leadership Sangha, which takes place at our international headquarters, Mayapur, it was repeatedly discussed among the leaders that we have been distributing Prabhupada books and we have to continue. But now we have to pay equal focus on reading Prabhupada books also. We have to nourish our own spiritual life also. Therefore, this HG Prabhu has given emphasis on that. Study classes are taking place, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and other classes also. So therefore, I really express my gratitude to him for doing that as a leader, to nourish the devotees also. So when we discuss scriptures, when we read Prabhupada books, you will see our Bhakti Lata is nourished. Because Lord Chaitanya has compared the development of our Bhakti to Bhakti Lata. So therein it is mentioned that every devotee should know basic gardening. Like we have small gardens sometimes around our homes. In cities very there, but but even the balcony, I remember one of my sister, there is no land in the cities, so in her balcony only she has made a small garden. So each devotee, Lord Chaitanya says, each devotee should know basic gardening. Mali hai yase hivij kare aropan shravana kirtan jale kare nisechan. Every devotee should be a gardener, receive the Bhakti Lata beach from the spiritual master, sow it and then do the gardening so that Bhakti Lata grows. And reading Prabhupada books, Shravan Kirtan, reading Prabhupada books, studying and teaching, all that is like watering process. So that is nourishing the Bhakti Lata beach and help the creeper of our Bhakti to grow and flourish and yield very beautiful flowers and fruits. So like that. So there are various limbs of Bhakti Rupa Goswami has described. 64 Angas of Bhakti, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. All of them are important, but 64 is a big number. Right? It's difficult to also, we have to discuss 64 limbs of Bhakti, it will take many series of talks. But he said of these 64, Rupa Goswami understanding that, to be able to comprehend and follow 64 is very difficult. So he says these 5 are most important. Out of 64, he distills out 5. These 5 are most important. And then he says, the slight touch of these 5, slight contact of these 5 can have very profound result. Just a slight contact. That means what? Even if we spend little time in one of these 5, we will see profound result. When something like that is said, it's not meant to encourage you to only spend slight amount of time. The meaning is, if slight contact can give you such result, what if you have little more than that? Then how much more will be the result? So it is to encourage us to have not just a remote contact but a close contact. Basically, spend more time, not little time, but more time in 5 Angas of Bhakti, and that will nourish our spiritual life very much. So we will discuss briefly these 5. Right? Today we will discuss briefly these 5. Sadhu Sangha. Display the 2 verses?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
Side by side? Yes. No, not translation. Just like when we had recited. Display the verses, yes. And increase the font. Just like before that. So, we are discussing these 2 verses. Padma chapter 22, verse 128, 129. And we will briefly discuss these 5 important aspects and how we can enhance. If we can a little bit put effort, a little bit do it more than what we are doing now, we will be able to see exponential result. We put little effort the result will be much more. First is sadhu sang. Sadhu sang. So we all know, anyone knows the, when I ask a question, you raise hand. In between I ask some question. Anyone knows any words which have the word sadhu sang? Please raise your hand. Yes, Mataji.
साधु संघ सर्वशास्त्र
Yes.
मात्र साधु संघ सर्वसिद्धि.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Your name, Mataji? Aditi Mataji. So Aditi Mataji has quoted this famous verse. You all can come ahead a little bit. Come in the front. So sadhu sang sarva shastra kai, lava matra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. Sadhu sang sarva shastra kai. All the scripture says is glorify the importance of sadhu sang. Even a small touch of contact with devotees can bring all perfection. Lava matra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. Now again, if lava matra can give sarva siddhi, if we take more than that, now love is a fraction of a second. Even a fraction of a second contact can give all perfection. But if we associate more, that will be, the result will be even greater. That's the point. So it's not to restrict us to little or lava matra, but encourage us to do more. So I will give now how to understand this verse. Lava matra, that means fraction of a second. We all have been hearing, from many Prabhupada disciples, pure devotees, spiritual masters for a long time. Still, we don't feel that we are perfect. Still, we feel we are far away from perfection. We are not. So, how can we understand this verse? What is the meaning of this verse? Sadhu sang sarva shastra kai, lava matra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. To explain the meaning of this verse, I'll tell you one story. Srila Bhakti Damodar Thakur, he was traveling by train from Kolkata going toward Assam, and some of the devotees, they came to know that he's traveling, and they came to receive him on train station. So with the Kirtan party, they had a huge uproarious Kirtan on the station. That came, and then he came down, and the Kirtan tempo increased. Then after a few minutes, they stopped. They wanted to hear something from him. Now, stop is very brief, that to Kirtan. So he just spoke for a minute or two, very small time. And he requested everyone to chant the holy name of the Lord. He explained the significance of chanting Mahaprabhu Sankirtan and requested everyone to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, he requested those who were present, those who had come to receive him, plus many more people, they saw, Sadhu is there, he's speaking something, they all assembled. Some chai wala, they also stopped. And so everyone heard him speak, and at the end he requested everyone to chant the holy name, take the holy name in their life. And then the train went ahead. Now, many of these people will never see him again. Mostly will never see him again. They just at the station, train stopped, they had his darshan, he spoke and went. Now, those who accepted his instruction, in their life, they will eventually achieve all perfection. Lava matra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. That means the journey to their all perfection started. How? Amongst those who accepted his instruction. Therefore, Srila Bhakti Damodar Thakur would say, association means not just coming together. It's not that we are in close proximity. That is the meaning of association. Association means to accept. He would say association means to accept. That means in the association we have to accept something, which grahan karna, grahan. We have to imbibe, we have to accept something. That is the meaning of association. So, if now we are coming together in the association of devotees, in that association, what do we have to accept for it to be called association? for it to be meaningful association. So, therefore, there are 4 things we should accept if our Sangha has to be called association, proper, right? Sadhu Sangha. We have to accept 4 things. The first thing we have to accept is the guidance from the devotees. Like we come to bhakti, we all need some guidance. Rather proactively, we should always seek some guidance from the devotees. So we accept the guidance. That is one thing. The second thing we should accept is some seva. Like when we come to Sangha, we should accept some service that, like you all have come here. Someone has put the mats. Someone is, making the prasad in the kitchen. The devotees will be serving. There's someone who beautifully decorates the altar. So this place is being maintained very nicely. Inspiration in the association of devotees. Actually, if we are away from inspiration, if we are away from the association of devotees, we will see our inspiration will go down. Inspiration will go down. I remember there was one person, I used to call him for satsang. He would say, come, we have, come to the association of devotees, hear chant. And he would say, I have to do this thing, I have to do that thing, today I have to go to meet this person, should I have some studies to be done. One day he said, I have one whole weeks of clothes to be washed today. For a weekend. And he said, I'm too busy in that. So like that, so he finds some excuse or other. And by Lord's arrangement, he later went to somewhere in Europe, and there he was feeling very lonely, and he was searching, very association of devotees. He found that there is a temple which is 105 kilometers away. So earlier the temple was within 5 kilometers. Now the nearest temple is 105 kilometers. And he said, and he wrote to me, he said, I have found a temple which is 105 kilometers. I am going there. I wrote to him, you were not traveling 5 kilometers earlier. Right? You're not taking seriously, but then he was feeling so lonely, all the inspiration went down. So now he was driving 105 kilometers to go so that he can find some inspiration. So therefore, without the association of devotees, we will see that the inspiration comes down. So in the association, we have to gain, we have to accept something. That means we have to accept or gain the inspiration. Fourth thing that we have to gain or accept in the association of devotees is also a feedback. Like when we do some seva or something, some devotees may give us some feedback. Right? And no one likes the feedback in this world. No one likes the feedback. If you tell someone, अरे ये ठीक से नहीं किया, ठीक से करो, आप ही करो. You only do it. You are telling me this is not proper, this is not proper. So it is very difficult for false ego to accept feedback. So, but Vrindavan Thakur says, those who do not accept feedback from devotees, Yamaraj will give them good feedback. Vrindavan Thakur says that. So therefore, one should also be open to feedback for improvement. So rather one should, it's described, it's becoming a culture in the corporates, 360-degree feedback. That means even equal to the juniors. One thing is senior give the feedback. In corporate, they are valuing the feedback and calling it 360-degree feedback means those who are junior to you, those who have just joined last year, within 1 year, you may be 20 years, they will also be giving feedback to you. How you are as a senior. Your equal will give the feedback. Your senior will give the feedback. And that feedback will be shared. It will be visible to your senior. They can see how is this person being rated by everyone. And one should see the feedback, and many times the feedback is an eye-opener. The eye-opener for us. Because it's very difficult to see one's own faults. It's very difficult to see one's own shortcomings or faults. But others can very clearly see. So therefore, when we accept the feedback also in a positive spirit, of course feedback in the association of devotees should be given nicely. One can give the feedback in a gentle way, but still, even if the feedback sometimes is given in a rough way, so one should know that it is good for my spiritual life and one should accept it. So when we accept these four things, then our coming together is called association, and accept these four things. So, and actually, anyone who comes to Krishna consciousness, anyone who comes to Krishna bhakti, what is the cause for coming to Krishna bhakti? It is always association. You will not find any exception. Someone say, no, I was given a book. But who gave you the book? Nobody has given the book. So therefore it is some devotees, only by devotees intervention, anyone comes to Krishna bhakti. Some devotee invites us for a program, gives us a book, gives us some prasadam, whatever. So we all come to Krishna lotus feet, we come to the path of bhakti by association of devotees. We advance by association of devotees, and association of devotee is also the most primary element even in the stage of perfection. So for us to come to Krishna bhakti, association of devotees is the most important. For us to stay in bhakti and also for us to perfect our bhakti, association always is the most important factor. Krishna bhakti janma moola hai sadhu sang. Krishna bhakti janma mool. That means root cause of our development of Krishna bhakti is sadhu sang. In the same word. Krishna bhakti janma moola hai sadhu sang. Krishna prema janme te ho prada mukhya ang. Even when you become perfect devotee, you develop love for Krishna, still it is puna mukhya ang. It is still one of the main limbs of bhakti. So therefore, all the Bhagavatam speakers, all the personalities, great personalities in Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, all the great souls, they have always that may Lord Bhakti Mahu Pravahatam Tui Me Prasango, may I always hear chant your glories, render bhakti to you in the association of the devotees. You see any great character in Bhagavatam and read the prayer. We always have prayed for association of devotees. Because in that association, we will always have the inspiration, we will always be on the right direction and right track of bhakti. So even Lord Chaitanya in the 8th chapter Madhya Lila asked Ramananda Rai several questions, and one of the questions he asked is Shreya Madhya Kaun Shreya Jivera Hai Sar. Of all the Shreya, now Shreya can be seen as beneficial work, welfare activity, or you can say lottery. Somehow someone gets a lottery, or so among all the Shreya, among the lottery, which is the highest? किसी का लॉटरी लग गया है तो सबसे बड़ा लॉटरी क्या है, सबसे बड़ा बम्पर प्राइस क्या है? श्रेयो मध्य कौन श्रेया जीवेरा है सार. What is the highest beneficial activity? What is the highest bumper prize that one may just suddenly get? Ramananda Rai says, Krishna Bhakta Sangha Veena Shreya Nahi Yaar. There is no greater benefit in this world than association of devotees. So association of the devotees is the highest good fortune. किसी का बहुत बड़ा लॉटरी लग गया है तो उसको भक्तों का संग मिलता है. इसको बहुत बड़ा ऐसा लॉटरी लगना समझने के समान है. Krishna Bhakta Sangha Veena Shreya Nahi Yaar. Of all the Shreya, beneficial welfare activity, association of devotees is the highest. So this is the first limb that we discuss. Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagava Shravan. Yes, you can repeat behind me. Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagava Shravan. Matra Vashi Tir Shadai Sevan. We will discuss about Sadhu Sangha. There is Another very beautiful story about Sadhu Sangh. When Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur was preaching, the Britishers wanted to know, what he is preaching, what his movement is. They sent their spy, Jasus. They sent their spy to join Gaudiya Math and give inside report. What they are doing, what is their activity, what their philosophy is. Are they taking some drugs or whatever, inside. So the people were suspicious, British. So they sent one person as a spy. He joined the Gaudiya Math and he stayed in the Gaudiya Math for a few months and saw everything, heard all the classes of Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And he resigned from Britishers and joined the Gaudiya Math. Full time. And that is the power of Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees. So after Sadhu Sangha, the second important limb is Nam Kirtan. Nam Kirtan. So in India, when Prabhupada returned back after preaching successfully in the West, Prabhupada was traveling in Gujarat, and Gujarati businessmen were asking Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to say, I went with only 40 rupees and now we have 40 crores. ISKCON, he would say like that. The businessmen would surprise. Just in 2-3 years, Swamiji from 40 to 40 crores. Swamiji, kaisa kiya aapne? Success story. What is the secret of success? So Swamiji would say, I went there and I sat under the tree and I simply chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yes, the Prabhupada attributed the secret of his success to two things primarily. One is chanting the holy names. Second is faith in holy name, that is chanting the holy name with faith. Second, Bhagavad Shravan is Prabhupada to Bhagavatam, right? But there is another point we would say. Faith in the instruction of the spiritual master, because the spiritual master instructed him. The spiritual master was a great sadhu. And so from him he had accepted his instruction, his guidance, his inspiration to preach. So he said, I have full faith in the instruction of the spiritual master. So one thing we should accept is, we said, service, seva opportunity, that is instruction of service. So Prabhupada accepted that seva instruction and he will attribute the success to his chanting in the holy name and faith in the instruction of spiritual master. Two things. So Prabhupada would say, this chanting should go on. You should always chant. Instead of meetings, resolutions, dissolutions, revolutions, and no solutions, the chanting should go on. So in this world we see so many meetings happening, resolutions, dissolutions, revolution, but there are no solutions actually. Go on. The ultimate solution is chant the name of the Lord. So there is a beautiful pastime. There was Prabhupada's servant, his name was Nanda Kumar. So Nanda Kumar was serving Prabhupada and he narrates his experience. He says, one day, it was the first time I missed chanting 16 rounds. I had completed 14 and I was very tired. I was feeling sleepy. So I rationalized, it is better to take rest now and chant these 2 pending rounds tomorrow, next day. It will be better because I'm now feeling sleepy, chanting quality will not be good. These 2 rounds can be better chanted tomorrow. So my mind rationalized this. So then he went to sleep and next day morning, early morning he got up, he got fresh. Prabhupada rang the bell and Prabhupada called him to his room. And as soon as he went into Prabhupada's presence, just imagine, Prabhupada is sitting, offered obeisance to Prabhupada and got up, and the first thing Prabhupada asked him, so, are you chanting your 16 rounds? He has just missed yesterday evening for the first time. And Prabhupada asked this question. So he wanted to say, yes, but he cannot say yes because he missed it. So yes, no, he's caught up. What should I say? She said, Swamiji, I am chanting, but yesterday I just missed it for the first time. Right? He explained to Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada, in a very grave voice, he said, when you are regularly chanting 60 rounds, it is like a young child learning to walk with the help of mother. And the mother is holding the hand. If the child starts to fall, mother will hold the hand and prevent the child to fall, topple over. And Prabhupada said, so if you are chanting the 16 rounds, Krishna is holding your hands. And then his eyes opened wide. And then he said, however, if you are not chanting 16 rounds, then Krishna will withdraw his hand. This is the movement of hand indicated. And then you will definitely fall down. So therefore, we are walking the path of spiritual life not on our own strength. Not on our own strength. Krishna's mercy, Krishna is holding our hand to see that the devotee can make progress. So he is holding our hand as long as we are chanting 16 now. This applies to those who have committed to chant 16 now and aspiring for initiation or already initiated. And those who have started their journey, they will be chanting 2, 4, 8 rounds. So at least the minimum number of rounds, whatever is the minimum commitment. If you are chanting the minimum commitment of rounds, then Krishna is holding your hand. Krishna is taking us through. But if we do not, then Krishna withdraws his hand. And then Prabhupada said, we are sure to fall down. Therefore, we should always be very careful and let not our mind rationalize. Let me miss rounds today. Tomorrow I can chant better. Today is a very heavy day, like that, and so on and so forth. So we have to daily chant our 16 rounds. So that is about chanting the holy names. There is a very important statement of Prabhupada. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. How many have heard that? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So this statement has two meanings. One thing is you chant Hare Krishna and you will become happy. Second meaning is Krishna Kaviraj Goswami says, Sadana Malai Vajat Ravete Santosh Ei To Achar Kare Bhakti Dharma Kosh. Another meaning is chant Hare Krishna. Right? This is the injunction given to you. And connects the two sentences. Be happy. Be happy also means is the injunction given to you. Be happy with whatever comes. Yat Lavete Santosh. Ei to achar kare bhakti dharma ko. The second definition is very important for sadhakas because chanting Hare Krishna will make us ultimately happy, no doubt. But in the stage of practice, you chant Hare Krishna and be happy with whatever Krishna brings to your life. There is a beautiful Ram Bhajan. It's a very traditional Ram Bhajan. It says, Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, kahi vidhi rahiye. What is the meaning of jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, kahi vidhi rahiye? Whatever he brings to our life, be happy, whatever circumstance. Therefore, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Be happy. It's also instruction. It's not the result. So therefore, for our stage of practice, we have to accept both as instructions. And then we become ultimately happy. Krishna mercy. So, I want to explain one important analogy which will help us because practicing devotees, sometimes we may feel, I am practicing spiritual life, why are difficulties coming, so much struggles coming in life, and so on and so forth. We may have, because chant Hare Krishna and be happy. We think the result is being happy. Yes, the result will be happy, But the life of sadhaka is like that you go to the hospital, get admitted and you will be healthy. Get admitted and you will be healthy. But you have to take the whole treatment. And that is sometimes painful. You have to take all the injections also. You have to follow the diet. And the diet is also very, very austere diet. So all that you have to follow. That is implicit. So chant Hare Krishna and be happy can be seen as if you want to see the result. Go to the hospital and you will be healthy. You will be healthy, but there is a treatment in between. There is a process of purifying. You have to get rid of all the infection. So for that there will be many IVs given, many syringes inside will be poked, and there will be diet which will not be to our liking. So many things. So I remember once I was admitted in Bhaktivedanta hospital, and the patient next to me, he was shouting, "I want to have bhajia," like you were saying, "I want to have this bhajia pakoda." Maharashtra with bhajia are very famous. He was shouting again and again that the doctor was not allowing him because of health, but he was shouting again and again. He was telling the nurse, telling his wife, "Get me out of here! I want to eat bhajia. I don't want to eat the hospital prasad." It's a austere condition in the hospital. You can't get what you like to eat and all that. Therefore, we have to tolerate certain things. So in this way, the sadhakas, the process of purification is sometimes painful, but the result will be there. The result will come. The result will be very sweet and very nectarian. And till the result comes, we have to be happy. We have to learn to be happy in every circumstance, knowing that it's also part of my purification, part of my journey towards the ultimate goal. So that is briefly about now Kirtan. We'll recite the verse again. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan.
Mathura Vashi Murti Shraddhaya Sevan.
Mathura Vashi Murti Shraddhaya Sevan.
So Bhagavad Shravan is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Although we know that of all the limbs of bhakti, of all the angas of bhakti, Prabhupada emphasized the most important is chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sakala sadhana shrestha Namo Vidha Bhakti Krishna Dite Prema Dite Dhare Mahashakti Paramadhe Sarvashreshtha Nama Sankirtan Niraprade Nama Laile Pai Prema Dhan. So this verse describes that Paramadhe Sarvashreshtha Nama Sankirtan. Of all the names of Bhakti, Sarvashreshtha is Nama Sankirtan. But Prabhupada says, in Namo Vidha Bhakti, Shravanam comes before Sankirtan. No one can properly do Nam Sankirtan without proper Shravan. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam. So therefore, Prabhupada says Shravanam comes before. Without proper Shravanam, no one can perform Nam Kirtan. Therefore, Prabhupada says Shravanam is the first and the foremost, is the most important. From that perspective, Shravanam is most important aspect of Bhakti. Also, important thing about Shravan is the Shravan, Bhagavad Shravan is placed between the Nam Sankirtan is placed between Sadhu Sang and Bhagavad Shravan, between the two. So only by the mercy of the sadhus and by the mercy of Bhagavat, that means the first sadhus are also called Bhagavat. There are two Bhagavatas. Ek Bhagavat Bada Bhagavat Shastra, Ar Bhagavat Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. There are two Bhagavatas, person Bhagavat, book Bhagavat. And Nam Kirtan is placed between the two Bhagavatas. That means only by the two Bhagavatas can one progress in Nam Sankirtan. Without the mercy of the person Bhagavat and without the mercy of book Bhagavat, one cannot advance in chanting the holy name. So we need the mercy of these two. Therefore, Nam Kirtan is placed between two Bhagavatas, person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. So, therefore, Bhagavat Shravan is very important, hearing Bhagavatam, and therefore also from whom to hear Bhagavatam? From person Bhagavatam. Yaha Bhagavad Pad Bhagavate Rasthane, Lord Chaitanya tells, you go and study Bhagavatam from Bhagavate Rasthane, from a person Bhagavatam. That means one who is trying to follow Srimad Bhagavatam, one who is trying to live Srimad Bhagavatam in one's life, one should hear Bhagavatam from that person. Because there may be many speakers of Bhagavatam who are speaking in such way, they give such nice story, fascinating story, example, mesmerizing, but they may not be following Bhagavatam. And we will be very much attracted now in the days of social media. There are so many great speakers, very charismatic speakers who can catch hold of our attention. So there are thousands of people speaking on Bhagavatam very eloquently, very impressively. But one has to understand that Bhagavatam has to be heard from a person who is trying to live by Bhagavatam. Live by Bhagavatam. So then, by hearing Bhagavatam, one will have profound results. Because Shukadeva Sanatana Goswami has given an analogy that even though a person may be speaking Bhagavatam, but if that person is not following Bhagavatam or has his own conception, himself wants to become Bhagwan, some Mayavadis and others, we hear from them, then it is like milk touched by lips of a serpent. Milk is there, all the protein, calcium and everything is there in the milk, but what is added is also poison. What is also added is a poison. So milk has the nutrition, but when added with poison, what will affect us more? The poison. The poison. So therefore one should be hearing Bhagavatam. One should be careful, not just to hear, Krishna Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, just from anyone and everyone. Unless we are assured that this person is parampara and is following Bhagavatam. Otherwise it could be risky. So one has to be careful about that. So His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj used to say that one should always carry Srimad Bhagavatam with oneself. And whenever one gets some time, in between we have some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, take out Bhagavatam and read. He would say just like a newly married person, he takes his wife along with him wherever he goes, at least in the first year and so on. He always is accompanied by his wife because they're newly married. So he would say that we should similarly, wherever we go, we should have Bhagavatam with us. We should have that kind of relationship. It's like a new marriage. New marriage with excitement. So we should always feel excited to carry Srimad Bhagavatam with us wherever we go and try to read Srimad Bhagavatam whenever we can read. Regarding reading Bhagavatam, I want to tell you one real life story. Like Bhadrapad Purnima, so we want to distribute Bhagavatam. So one devotee, he called his office colleague. He said, "अरे भागवत है क्या तुम्हारे पास?" नहीं, भागवत रखना बहुत जरूरी है घर पे. So he inspired him. He said, ठीक है, लेके आ जाओ भागवत, लेके आ जाओ. Bring Bhagavatam. He said, we will bring Bhagavatam and do Aarti also of Bhagavatam. Right? We do Aarti. He said, okay, very good. Do Aarti of Bhagavatam and then we will tell you how to read also. Kind of. He said, okay, टाइम मिलेगा तो पढ़ेंगे, बट आप भागवत लेके आओ, आरती करेंगे. We'll do the Aarti of Bhagavatam. So devotees went with one full box of Bhagavatam and he said, ये क्या है? Said, Bhagavad. Said, I didn't call for one box of Bhagavad. I called for one Bhagavad. Said, I want one book of Bhagavad, not one box. Said, this is one book. One book? One book has 18 parts. Yeah, he was surprised. The devotees, unpacked and kept the Bhagavatam volume on the table. He He was still in the state of shock. I wanted one Bhagavad, one book, but he brought 18. Right? So the Aarti was done. After the Aarti, he called when Prabhuji who had come from the temple. He took him to the side. He said, मैंने 25 साल से कोई किताब नहीं पढ़ा है. Like, I have not read anything for last 25 years. After my college graduation, I am busy with my business. I come back after 9 p.m. Morning I leave at 8:30 a.m. I come back after 9 p.m. He said, I'll tell you my schedule. So like he said, I'm sharing with you frankly, this is my schedule. Do you think I can read this in my life? In this life, can I read this? That I really feel that I cannot read this book. So I really beg you to take all this back. Honestly, he was saying, I am not going to read this book, it is just lying here. Please take it back. And if you want, I'll give the money. Since you brought all the way, I'll give the money for this to take the books back. Some other devotee was thinking, what to do, you want the Bhagavatam for him, saying take it back, I'll give the money. You don't just want money, right? You want him to keep Bhagavatam and feel inspired to read Bhagavatam. So this preacher said, okay, I just want to, we will take the book back, but give 1 month trial. 1 month trial period. What is that? So like you have 1 month free trial, So there is 1 month trial. Can you pick up after coming from office, after taking your dinner, can you pick up one of the book, open any page and read one sentence daily? Is that much time possible for you? Is that okay? Can you do that? He said, इतना तो कर सकता हूँ. I can do at least that much. So I'll pick up one of the book, open any page and read Bhagavatam. So he said, okay, 1 month you do, and after 1 month you call us, have our number, say, then you take your decision. Want to keep Bhagavatam or return back Bhagavatam. For 1 month daily, without fail, just open any book, any page, read one sentence, not one page, not one paragraph. Read one sentence. So that was a commitment. And he started reading. Would come at fresh, take his dinner, open book, any page, read one sentence, give it back. One day he had a severe conflict, clash, misunderstanding in the office. And then he opened the Bhagavatam, the page, and Prabhupada is writing, this material world is the place of conflicts. Yes, I have to read now more. Right? And then he read, and then that day onwards, then he started reading little more. And then he made a habit of regular reading, but increased it. When he came to the temple after several years, after 3 years he came to the temple, and then he somehow met this Prabhuji who had come to do Aarti. And he said, Prabhuji, do you recognize me? Prabhuji did not recognize, because the whole month he was going and doing Aarti of Bhagavatam every day. He said, you came to my home and did Aarti. He said, oh, I went many homes. I must have come to your home also. He said, but you told me to read Bhagavatam one sentence. 3 years back, and I am reading, and I have out of 18 volumes, now I am reading the 5th volume. So at least in 3 years, he could read out of 18, 5. That's a big progress. Given that, he thought I will not be able to read it in my life all time. But he just committed that I will read one sentence. Then what is this verse saying? A little contact with any of the 5. If you just read even one sentence of Bhagavatam daily, consistent contact, it will change your life. It will have a great profound effect. So therefore, all of us should make a habit of at least reading one sentence of Prabhupada book daily. We have to pick up Prabhupada book. At least read one sentence. You will be very busy. If you can read one paragraph, that is much more. One page or one paragraph. But have a consistent habit of doing some reading. Let not a single day go when you have not read Prabhupada book. I remember when I was staying in Bombay in one place, Navi Mumbai, and we used to have like Bhagavatam class half an hour in the morning. And one person, our neighbor, one day came, and then he saw us, we were reading this book, and he said, "ये book आप रोज पढ़ते हैं?" मैंने कहा हाँ, daily we do study this book. And he said, "I read economics times daily." And then he said, "I have not missed reading economics time even one day in last 30 years." For last 30 years, daily I read economics time. I said, in my mind I thought, you want to take dust from your lotus feet so that we can read Bhagavatam daily for next 30 years. so like that, such consistency, daily, right? Not single day missing, because there's such inspiration. So if the devotees can have that kind of inspiration, but at least we will read one sentence, if not more. And you will see when we have this commitment of even reading little bit, we will be inspired to read more actually. And Krishna will inspire. But our duty is to pick up and at least, okay, minimum commitment to read one sentence. We will get the inspiration to read more, and we will see that small effort will be able to read Bhagavatam multiple times just by little consistent reading. So therefore, these 5 limbs are very important, and we have to keep in contact with this 5 limbs. A little remote contact. This says Panchera Alpasan. At least a little contact should be maintained. We should not lose contact with any of these 5. What are the next 2? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravan.
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagava Shravanam.
Mathura Vas Shri Murti Shraddhaya Sevan.
Mathura Vas Shri Murti Shraddhaya Sevanam.
So Mathura Vas is Dham Vas, residing in the holy place, abode of the Lord. All ISKCON temple have yatras. Like some recent yatra had gone, youth yatra to Jagannath Puri. At least once a year we can go on a yatra, Dham yatra. You see that also, once a year going to a Dham, Alpasan, taking out 3 days, 4 days, 1 weekend, whatever. So that is Alpasan. So go for a Dham yatra with the association of devotees. You will see our spiritual life will be enriched. But more than that, it is said, Hari Sada Vaset Tatra Yatra Bhagavata Jana Sayanti Bhakti Bhavena Hari Namena Sevanena. And wherever there is deity form of the Lord, wherever there is Shri Vigraha form of the Lord being worshipped, that place also becomes Dham. Therefore, Prabhupada, all the temples of Prabhupada, all the centers of Prabhupada are like holy places, they are Dham. In this way, when we come together to the centers like this and other temples, that is also like visiting a holy Dham. So we should come see the Lord being worshipped, take the darshan. That also becomes our Mathura Vas. And the last is Shri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevan. Serving the deity form of the Lord with the faith that the form of the Lord is not different from Krishna. There's a beautiful story in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the 2 Brahmanas traveling on pilgrimage. The younger Brahmana had the complete faith. There's a beautiful verse where he says, Pratimana hatumi sakshat brajendra nandan vipra lagi kar tumi karya karam. That you're not Pratima, you're not simply idol. You are directly the son of Nand Maharaj. So the Lord actually, when we approach him as Krishna, he will reciprocate as Krishna. Those who consider him stone, the Lord reciprocates with them as he is stone. Sometimes people say, how could they break the deities? Because they considered him to be stone, he acted like a stone for them. But those who considered him to be the Supreme Lord, Yajendra Nandan, called Nitai, Jagannath, the Lord Krishna personally present, the Lord reciprocates similarly. So there is a beautiful story. Prabhupada took the deities of Radha Gopinath, he installed them in Sydney. He took them to install them in Sydney, in Australia, but he saw that none of them had any training. They had not made any arrangements for installation also, and no one had any clue how to worship deities. Prabhupada became very concerned. you know that how to install the deities, no training has taken place, they have no clue, not there are so many things missing even for installation, what will happen? Prabhupada became concerned, but he said, I may not come back again here, because I'm an old person, I may leave the body any moment. So Prabhupada decided I will install the deities, and then he prayed to the deities, my Lord, ideally I should train them how to serve you properly, but I have no time. I have to go to the next place and devotees are waiting for me. Prabhupada himself was traveling and training all over the world, he was traveling and training devotees. So Prabhupada requested the Lord, my Lord, you please teach them from within the heart how to worship you. You conduct deity worship training seminar. Since you sit in everyone's heart, one to one you conduct. Like we have in ISKCON, there is a 6 months deity worship training seminar in Mayapur. There are people who spend 6 months in learning how to serve the deities properly. 6 months full time, morning and evening. With that many details. So Prabhupada just requested the Lord that since you are within everyone's heart, you teach them how to serve you. And the Lord reciprocated. And Prabhupada, when he came next year, he saw devotees had made nice altar, they had made nice dresses, they were offering nice bhoga. Prabhupada became very happy that Lord has himself inspired them, trained them how to serve him properly. There are so many stories where the devotees, they pray to the Lord and the Lord reciprocates with the devotees. So in this way, Shri Murti Rishodhaya Sevan, we should have complete faith that the Shri Murti, the Artha Vigraha of the Lord, is not different from Krishna, and he will reciprocate to the degree, Prabhupada says, to the degree we become free from anarthas and offenses, basically, which is anarthas cause offenses. To the degree we become free from aparadh, and to the degree we enter the service of the Lord. That means we try to become free from our aparadh, and to the degree we enter the service of the Lord. The more dedication we show in serving the Lord, to that degree we will realize that Shri Murti, the deity form, is not different from Krishna. Not different from Krishna. So therefore, that means as we go on progressing, the pure, the more our heart becomes pure, and the more our dedication is increased in serving the Lord, to that degree we will realize the presence of Krishna as his deity form. That is Shri Murti Sadhaya. Once again we recite Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan
Mathura Shri Murti Sadhaya Sevan
Mathura Shri Murti Sadhaya Sevan
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Vai Panchanga
Sakala Sadhana Shrestha Vai Panchanga
Krishna Prema Janmaya Panchira Alpa Sangha
Krishna Prema Janmaya Panchira Alpa Sangha.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak on these 5 limbs of bhakti in your presence. Do we have time for question answer?
Yes,
Okay. If anyone of you have any question, comment, any concern, you can raise a hand and ask. Okay, Prabhu has raised a hand. And then Prabhu can ask and then ask.
Thank you, Prabhu. So very simple but eye opening. Prabhu, in this
Microphone, yeah, you will pass the microphone to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class. It was really eye opener for me. Prabhu, in this slok, it is written Mathura was. It's a better Mathura, so like Vrindavan was is the better than Mathura was, and after Govardhan was like that. So I was just wondering why it is mentioned especially Mathura was.
Okay.
Another one.
Yes.
After that I will ask.
Okay. So in general, it's called in the scriptures as Mathura Mandal. In the Skanda Purana, other Puranas, Braj Bhumi is called as Mathura Mandal. So the Braj is all included. So because Krishna after Krishna descended, I mean in this day of Brahma, when Krishna descended, he did Gocharan Leela. And he walked, Krishna walked with his cows, that bhumi became Braj Bhumi. Braj, little meaning of Braj is to walk. Brajanti Gava Yatra Iti Braja. Brajanti Gava Yatra Iti Braja. Wherever Krishna has gone with his cows, walking, bare feet, tending the cows, that land became as Braj Bhumi. So previously in the scriptures called Mathura Mandal, and it became known as Braj Bhumi. But the same tract of land. Same tract of land. It's eternal Dham of the Lord, but it became famous as Braj Bhumi. So here, it is Mathura here includes the Mathura Mandal, it's 84 crores Braj. 84 crores Braj. Fine?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, second question is out of context of this class. Can I ask?
Out of context?
Yeah.
Not out of the discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
I will ask in last then.
Okay, you can ask in last. Yes. So first, in the context of the class is good, but out of context also in the last, or we can talk personally also. No problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu has a question here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Kanvatana.
Yes.
Prabhuji, in regards to Sadhu Sangha, I wanted to ask, with respect to congregation devotees, most of the congregation devotees here, as you said that see for Prabhuji, at least we see that there is a constant association of sadhus. Congregation devotees, 5 days they have association of non-sadhus, and 2 days they have association of sadhus.
Yes.
Even though, yes, you know that we should reach Prabhupada's book in the house, create temple in the house itself. So those details are there. But if we are spending as congregation devotees a lot of years, you must have seen examples in Chowpatty and other places, Prabhuji, that how, what are the great examples from the congregation devotees with this situation where they have to work as well as maintain the mood, and they are not getting that level of sadhu sangha, and it's a struggle. Unlike brahmachari, it's a different struggle, but not this one. How, in your experience, Prabhuji, what are the practical advices there?
Okay, to increase sadhu sangha.
Yes,
Practical
Prabhuji.
advice to increase sadhu sangha.
And improve on our bhakti.
Okay. So, basically, first of all, like we say that in our office, in our jobs, in our work, business, we have so much of non-devotee association. One thing is that we saw that association means to accept. So unless we accept their ways, their moral values and all that, if we are accepting that is association, but if we are not accepting, that will not be called association. But of course, when we are with them, something rubs over usually. Some of their values, some of material ambitions rub over. But in general, if we are very careful not to accept their ideals and what the values they follow, their ways of life, their habits and all that, if we do not accept what they are representing, then we are not associating with them. On the other hand, we can give our association with them. That means if we are strong in bhakti, so in coming together, who is associating with whom? Are we associating with them or are they associating with us? It depends upon who is accepting from whom. Are they accepting our ideals or we are accepting their ideals? So therefore in general, we have to be in this world. We cannot be isolated. It's not possible for us to remain in isolation. Therefore, we have to learn to insulate ourselves. That means we are not affected by them. Rather, we should give our association to some people who are more willing to take, basically. Those are not agnostics, who are not against Krishna Bhakti. So, on the other way around, we should inspire others to take our association to basically inspire them in the ideals of devotional service. So, that is one thing. And regarding, first of all, keeping ourselves inspired before inspiring anyone else. That is very important because we can only inspire others if we are feeling inspired ourselves. Regarding keeping ourselves inspired and increase our bhakti, if we have the feeling of deficiency always, that feeling, that I want to associate more with devotees, I want to read more, chant more attentively, I want to chant more rounds in the morning. And if I am making a little effort, suppose I am chanting 8 rounds in the morning and then 8 rounds during the day. Just to take an example, if I'm chanting 16 rounds. Then from 8, this verse says alpasang. That means if I somehow make an effort to make it 9 or 10 also, Krishna will see that small effort and by his mercy we will make tremendous spiritual progress. So what is important is that we keep the desire alive. Keep the desire alive. That just I have to do more and I am not doing sufficient. That I have to do more. So that feeling of deficiency, which is healthy, the positive feeling, which should give us positive energy, that I should do more, and I'll make little effort. And when Krishna sees the little effort, he will give us more inspiration, he will give us more opportunities. He may arrange our life in such a way that, we will get the time we are looking for, we will get certain opportunities we are looking for, and we will be able to fulfill those desires that we have, to invest our time greatly, increase our intensity of bhakti. So basically, as Prabhupada used to say that man proposes, Krishna disposes. That means what we can only do is we can desire sincerely and express that desire, pray for its fulfillment and make an effort. And it's just a question of time because the Lord, He is there present personally and He will surely facilitate it. This is a question of time. The Lord will facilitate it and we'll be able to do it. So what is in our part, we do it. We keep our desire and effort alive, and rest is the Lord that we will arrange. Hare Krishna. Yes. Prabhu here has one question. And yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. First of all, thank you so much for this class. You explained the 5 primary points, especially like this Alpasanga part very much. That can do wonders, especially the actionable part of it, not just theoretically. Matra can do a lot, but literally reading one sentence. This is something. In fact, I had wondered this some time back that sometimes it is not possible to read Bhagavatam on that day, but one sentence, at least this commitment we have definitely have.
Yes.
One question, Prabhuji. So when we try to increase our devotional service in these 5 aspects, with all these 5 aspects, there is also a possibility of committing some offense. For Shri Murti Sevanam, it is possible that in our family we want to increase, we want to bring Murti. Currently we have laminations if we want to bring Murti, but they still have tendencies to include other demigods also. So we don't know, it can be offensive to the deities. So should we,
okay, so regarding, you said regarding offenses, and especially in relation to Shrimurti Shraddha Seva. Well, he said that the Devatas, even if they are there at your home, right? Like a family member that is worshipping some Devatas, then they can be there in the altar as the Lord's devotees because they all are at their natural position. So this is called GBC rule. Like I stay in Govardhan Eco Village, we have under hundreds of years old in the same property, there was a temple of Lord Ganesha. Because so many temples of Ganesha in Maharashtra especially. So in our property there was already a deity existing, very god of Lord Ganesha. So then, now he is a Devata. And so therefore ISKCON has come up with the rule that if there is some Devata already there, some deity, you can keep him, he can have a separate altar or you can keep him in the same altar also, in the home altar especially, keep him in the same altar and worship that devata by chanting the holy name. Right? With the same prayer like Mahamantra, sing Mahamantra, worship that devata also by chanting the Mahamantra and offer that devata Krishna Prasad. And Prasad is, so therefore, following these two rules, then there is actually that devata worship is worship of the devotee. They are naturally devotees of the Lord. The devotee is very happy when the Lord's name is chanted, and devotees will be blessing you if this like Krishna Prasad. So like that. So with the right understanding, if a devata is worshipped, it is not considered purvakam. When Krishna says Jajante Vidhi Purvakam means when we consider them as separate independent lords. But when we have an understanding that they are devotees, then if they are there, it's not that we have to bring them. Prabhupada said no need to bring them. All his amshas, all his part and parcel, they are present. Always. We don't have to separately bring them. But if they are there, then you worship them with the right understanding and in the right way by worshiping them in Sankirtan and offering Mahaprasad. Very fine? Hare Krishna. Okay, from mother's side, if anyone has question, so we want to just give them also opportunity. Okay, so Mataji has script with the 5 limbs of bhakti. So, okay, yes, even Kishore Prabhu. Let his hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It was very wonderful to go to the Mukhya 5 Angas of our sadhana bhakti and especially emphasize a lot upon sadhu sangha and how we can take association with the 4 different ways of that. What does it mean? However, one of the challenges that come when we see devotees through our material vision, that we may not able to get the potency that one can have while associating with the devotees. So this can actually inhibit that the association importance that one can actually get. So how to overcome these anarthas of seeing devotee not through the material vision, but a vision of which devotee who are actually serving Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, good. So actually, it's a very important question that how in the sadhu sangha, association of devotees, the 4 things we have to accept. Association means to accept. If we discuss the 4 things, we accept the guidance, we accept inspiration, we accept some seva, and then we accept some feedback. 4 things. But one thing we should be cautious of and not accept are the faults of devotees, because everyone in this world has faults. It doesn't require any greatness to see the faults, because everyone has faults in this world. But it requires great maturity, it requires great wisdom, great realization, great purity of the heart, not to accept fault. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Not to accept fault. So it is described that Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was one of the 6 Goswamis, and someone, when some Vaishnava would go to him and say, this devotee is acting like this, this devotee is nonsense, doesn't know how to eat prasad, will everywhere, so many things, like some complaint, some fault. So he would say, no, I don't speak all this, I don't know all of this, what I was saying. Vaishnave Ranindha Karma Nahi Padhe Kame Sabe Krishna Bhajan Kare Hi Matra Jane. So he would say that don't speak all this, I don't know all this, I only know that this person comes to association and is chanting the holy name. Chanting the holy name. Therefore, he will become perfect. Because he is following the process, he will become perfect. So I don't want to see the fault. You describe sometimes when you order prasadam and then you have to queue up to wash your plate or wash your hand. Because together devotees order prasadam, then there is a queue to wash your hands, queue to wash your plate. So, and someone is seeing, and someone is so dirty. 5-10 minutes have passed, wash hand, still with a dirty plate. Oh, but that person is standing in the queue. right? The queue is gradually moving ahead. So therefore, we all are standing in queue and progressing. We will be purified one day. In the meantime, we should not find fault, knowing that whatever faults are there will be washed away. All of us are standing in queue, will be purified. So we should not see the fault. Even we have to correct somebody else, that feedback is to be given. That should be given with the desire to help that person, not with a fault finding attitude. When we give a feedback with a fault finding attitude, that will not help the person, it will not help us. So when that is given with the service attitude, right, we see that some devotees again and again doing something which is not helpful. So with kindness, with proper sensitivity, if we have the adhikar to do it, we are in a senior position, we have the proper relationship, then we can give the feedback on how to improve in a seva attitude without finding the fault. So in this way, seeing the fault in devotees is a big stumbling block on the path of bhakti. And we can progress much more faster if we can reduce our fault finding. In fact, Lord Chaitanya says, "Ihat hai ye dosh dekhe kahana se dosh." He says, one who sees the fault, that person is faulty. So we should know that seeing the fault is actually a bigger fault than the fault itself. Why? Like as I said, everyone is in the queue. In the process of sadhana bhakti, everyone will become pure in due course of time. But when our becoming pure will be delayed much more. But our fault will not go away. So therefore, seeing a fault is a bigger fault than the fault itself. You should know that point. This is established in the scriptures. One who sees the fault, that is a bigger fault. Unless we have the proper service, unless we do in a service attitude, right? Unless we have the authority to do it, we have the seniority and the authority to do it. Without that, seeing the fault is a bigger fault. So we should be very careful because we become more faulty by seeing devotees from material point of view, because everyone in this world has faults. So for our own good, when you point out fault at someone, three fingers are pointing towards you. That means 3 times is our greater fault. When you point out one finger towards others, 3 fingers point towards us. Means that we have many more faults. Better we do correct ourselves before we correct others. So this is important in the expression of devotees. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. We will stop over here. My great honor, my privilege to have an association of you all sincere devotees and share something. Jai Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gandharva Gidhari Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sai Gaur Preman ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.